Look, the secret thief that's in your wallet will come out and say it. It's called inflation, and very few people truly understand it.
Mm.
Milton Friedman, a very famous um, economist, said that inflation is taxation without legalization. So it's taking money from you, but without being out there and saying, "Hey, we're taking it off you. This is the percentage. This is how it works." They're just taking it off you under the radar, and this is why it's the secret thief. It's it's not public, but when you understand it, you realize how much it's taking from you, and we'll show you this stuff now. So look, um, inflation, put very simply, is the decrease in purchasing power of a currency. So it's paper money losing value, and it's made complicated for a reason, or seemingly complicated, so that you're kept in the dark, so that it's not taught in school. There's two different types of inflation that are quoted as well. There's the retail price index, the RPI, and the consumer price index, CPI, and they have different formulas of how they come to these numbers. So when people are saying inflation, they could be talking about one, they could be talking about another, and generally over time, the two different types of inflation are about nearly 1% out on average, which 1% in the grand scheme of things is a big number. Um, they, different formulas to make them up, and the government even say, look, the RPI is not relevant anymore. They say the CPI is what we're going to use, but then you'll still see it quoted. Prices are
Mm.
going to go up by 2.5%, or the RPI, whichever's higher. So
And they choose what goes in the pot, Adam, also, don't they?
yeah, so the
They
formula
choose
that
what they
makes them
put in
up.
that pot.
Yeah, the formula that they make, that they derive these inflation numbers from, is like a basket of things. So they might say, we'll look at rent and house prices and different goods, but they change that basket of goods.
Mm-hmm.
So it's working to their favor. So just be aware. We always say the numbers don't lie, but they can be manipulated. And
They can
be
be, and they
aware of
are
this stuff.
manipulated, mate, aren't they?
Yeah, just be aware of this stuff. So you might think, well, look, in the UK, we can speak that the minimum wage goes up every year. So surely, yeah, inflation's going up, minimum wage is going up. Surely that cancels it out, right? Um, yes and no. The minimum wage does actually increase in line with inflation, but what they do, let's see it for what it is. They reduce the purchasing power of your money, so they lower what you've got, and then they say, oh, we'll give you a little bit more to top it up. So you never get ahead.
Yeah.
Uh, an increase in minimum wage is basically staying where you are. It's taking and then giving. That's fine if you're on the minimum wage. The government will make sure that you stay in the same place. But it's generally the middle, the people that aren't on minimum wage that are earning more than that feel the squeeze. They're the
Mm.
ones that get affected the most, because unless you're getting a pay increase after tax of inflation or more, then you are losing money. It's called a pay cut. Let's be honest, we've got to see these things for what they are. It is a pay cut. You are losing money. And this is what's happening to people. People, if you think back years ago, maybe there was one adult in the household that would work, the other would maybe look after children, maybe a very 1950s view of the world, but that's what happened. And now both of the adults are working and people are still struggling. That's inflation at play. That's
And that's
that's
before
what's happening.
COVID.
Yeah, this is what's happening in people's
Yeah.
lives. So
Yeah.
let us break down exactly how this stings people in the pocket. So let's take an example. Let's say you earn £30,000 a year. After tax, you will take home £24,040. If your employer or whoever it is says, yep, you're getting a pay increase of 2%, each year, let's say, your new salary would be 30,600. That's 2% on top of the 30. So I hope that makes sense. But your take home is 24,448. So your actual take home increase is £408 when you take off the tax, which means your take-home increase is only 1.4%. So if you are getting a 2% pay increase each year, which I don't know many people that do, the result of that is actually that it's at 30,000 a year, it's actually a 1.4% increase. So you've got to look what happens net. What is it? What's the result to you individually, personally, in your household?
Yeah, as you always say, Adam, the devil is in the detail, isn't it?
Yeah, and I don't know many people that look in. Well, apart from us, we're always looking into this on a really deep level. But people don't. People are busy. They don't always have time to look into this. But a 2% pay increase basically says 1.4 increase for you, and the rest is an increase for the government. That's what's happening. So your pay increase means an increase for them. Not only are you getting stung from what you're earning, so the inflation is affecting what you're earning, but it's also affecting what you can, the cost of buying things as well. So when you go and take your inflation eroded money and you go and buy things, they've also gone up in price over time. James, do you want to just talk us through some of these? To know you spent a lot of time crunching some numbers to do all
I
of
spent
this.
a lot of time doing the numbers on this. Yeah, trying to get the data, because obviously when we do speak, we don't want to be talking rubbish, do we? It has to be real life data. And I mean, the numbers should speak for themselves, really, shouldn't they? You just look at the price of things over time. If what you're earning does not beat the inflation rates that you see here, then you're just losing all the time, aren't you? And I've noticed also when I looked at petrol and the taxation on petrol, nobody ever looks at the inflation on the taxation on petrol or what they're charging on petrol, because they change that willy-nilly too. And the amount of money that actually goes to tax from your petrol is a lot more than what I think most people actually realise. Cigarettes, again, I mean, cigarettes, flipping heck. I mean, you shouldn't. Not only do you get hammered, your health gets hammered. I mean, they should just be flipping eradicated and took off the planet. If anybody wants to do anything about their health, they need to get rid of them. But yeah, I mean, just look at the numbers. The numbers speak for themselves. It's loaf of bread. Who doesn't eat bread these days? Beer, flipping it. House prices, 167%. They've actually leveled off a little bit compared to what they were. But what do people earn compared to house prices? And then when you see the gold numbers when we bring them up, you'll actually realise, you'll think, well, flipping it, straight away you'll get, oh, well, that's why we buy gold. It's not rocket science. That's why we buy gold. Over that same period of time, the percentage change of gold is 726%. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's not rocket science again. I know we've said this time and time again, but look at all those numbers, the percentage change of goods there, of milk, bread. We've tried to put the main things in there that everybody uses, everybody has. Beer, cigarettes, that everyone has them, but and petrol is one of the biggies, isn't it? Because you have to have that to go to work, etc., and survive, houses. But you look at all them numbers there, and trying to keep it short and sweet and straight to the point. Look at the numbers, look at the price of gold. If you're saving in cash, in currency, you're losing. If you're swapping that currency for precious metals, you're winning. It's as simple as that, and the numbers are there.
I think as well.
Anything else, Adam, to add to that? I mean,
well, I think just to say, look, gold's just a commodity. We've not kind of picked gold for any other reason than it's a commodity and how it's performed in the past. If milk had performed the same and it kept fresh for as long as gold keeps fresh, we'd be buying milk. We're not kind of head down buying gold. It's because of what it's done. If cigarettes, I guess you could say they've performed well. If you could hold on to cigarettes for a long period of time and resell them, then you would make money again. But again, if you could do that, looking down this percentage change column, gold's smashing it, absolutely smashing all of these things.
It's just safety, isn't it? In my when you have gold, Charlie's talked about this in the past, haven't you, Charlie? It just makes you feel good, makes you feel safe and secure. And that's what it is. I never got this 10 years ago. Well, probably a bit longer than that. I never got it. But when I did get it, I flipping got it. I went, right, I'll go and get some. I didn't do it the right way initially. because I didn't know what I was doing. But I learned as I went along, and that's what we share with people. We show them the right way, don't we, Adam? But at least I was buying it. At least I had some gold in my hand rather than paper currency. Sure. As soon as you get this, you've just got to take action and go and do it.
I think
because it hurts you. It hurts you.
This is one thing that really shocked me is check out the percentage increase on your council tax or equivalent property tax. 2% increase, 1%, 2%, 7%, 3.4%. This is an average increase of about 3%. So unless your wages are increasing by inflation after tax, your expenses are going up by 3%. I mean, this is just, you're meant to find this extra money from somewhere. Where do you get it from? It means other things you have to go without because they want more off you. So this is why it's the squeeze and it's the secret thief that's taking from you that you don't always realize what's happening. And you have to work really hard to stay in the same place. We're not even talking about getting ahead here. We're talking about staying in the same place.